Beverly Enos, and this is Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on your local cable station. This is part of our cable TV process, and if you'd like to join us behind the cameras, in front of the cameras, in the hot seat, come down and play with the computers. They do have cameras that you can learn on and have some fun doing cable in Georgetown. Now today we're going to be talking to Susan Madigan, and Susan is part of the Cultural Council, and we're going to be specifically talking about the summer concerts, the Sunday night summer concerts that you've been holding for years and years and years. Welcome.
Seems like.
Yeah, seems like. Now, how long have you lived in town?
Moved here in '95, March of '95.
Okay, so you've been here a while.
Yeah.
Not quite a townie, but
Not
you've been here a while.
I've been told, no, you have to bury somebody here and then maybe the next generation.
Okay. Now, where did you come from?
We were living
local?
in North Andover.
Okay,
But
so
we'd come from,
local.
yep.
And you have family here?
Yeah, my husband and daughter both live in Georgetown.
Okay, so now did your daughter come through the school system? And
She did up until the beginning of 9th grade. Now
Okay.
she goes to Austin Prep.
all right, so it's always nice to see the differences in all the volunteerism.
Yeah,
Georgetown probably has more volunteers than most towns.
it seems like it, yeah.
How did you get involved in volunteering?
My husband traveled a lot. My daughter was 2 when we moved into town, and I remember taking a walk with her in the summer and hearing some music and strolling around trying to find that park that you can hardly find sometimes. You're like, how do you get down there? And hearing music and you know, saying, wow, this is great. What besides the pond and the park, the playground, to have free music in town, I thought it was terrific.
So the series was already running when you got involved.
There was a limited series, I think, yeah, 95. They did it on the back of a flatbed truck. They had an old rickety, and I think the legend goes that some performer actually put his foot through the flatbed. And there were, I think, 2 or 3 concerts. You know, it was kind of just whatever they could get. Patty Clark was the one that started it, and she asked one time, you know, do anybody want to volunteer? And I signed up, and I think I'm a lifer. I don't think I can.
They're not letting you go. Putting something like that together has to have a lot of challenges. And what are some of the biggest challenges of putting these concerts together and keeping it running all these years?
How about the big one being money? Money is the biggie. We struggle, and especially right now with the economic times being what they are. It takes a lot of time. Before we had more of the luxury when one of our sponsors used to give us a lot more money, and we had the luxury of just focusing on getting bands and having fun and, you know, doing the fun stuff, what I consider more the fun stuff, listening to bands and you know, going to clubs and going to listen and check out bands. But now the focus, you know, it kind of takes away from that because you're always looking for money. And like, for instance, this year, instead of the half a dozen or 7 shows that we had last year, we're having 5. Because as the money came trickling in, it's like, well, you can't hire a band till you know you have the money, so you're like, we'll do one more, you know, we'll do one more, you know. So that's, I guess, the biggest challenge. And another challenge is getting volunteers that will stick with it, that you can count on. You know, everybody's like, oh, this is fun, you know, let's go to a club and listen to a band. You know, everybody likes that part, you know. But getting somebody to show up Sunday after Sunday and do the work part of it is a challenge as well.
Now, you actually go and listen to all the bands before you hire them?
Not all of them, but some of them we do. A lot of them, they send us CDs. I get emails now, especially since we have a website, and people have found out about that. They'll send inquiries to the website, you know, check out our MP3s, check out our MySpace, and, you know. But it's always best, I think, to go listen to a band, you know, live.
Live music is live.
Yes, yeah. They might sound good on a CD, and then you hear them live and go, oh, this was a little bit of a...
Well, a lot of times they can do a CD in a studio that has a lot of enhancements that they're not going to get outside on Sunday night when it might be outdoors, a little chilly or a little hot. Logo. You do logos.
Yes, we do. This is this year's logo. We've done T-shirts, I think almost every year. I think maybe we skipped them 1 or 2 years. But this year's logo was done by local artist Kate Hanlon, and it's a kind of a reprise of a theme from the past concert logos. But there's the little pavilion, and there's just a couple of different kinds of music. We just because we have had an incredible, I think, variety of music over the years. It's just been, everything from klezmer to polka to reggae to, so we just kind of said, hey, there's a cowboy, there's a, jazz musician.
Now, the committee, when they pick the music, do you specifically try and have lots of different types of music through the year?
Yes, yes. In fact, if you go on the website, again, I put together a spreadsheet of all the different bands, at least the ones that I could remember. 95 was a little shaky, 96 was a little, but all the different bands that we've had over the year. And like I said, I found it interesting because I was thinking, wow, that's wild. I don't remember. I would have forgotten about that band, gospel band or Western swing, or, like I said, we've had all kinds of music. I remember I met a guy at the park when I was putting up signs, and this man with a child, he said, you should try to have more different kinds of music. And I was, are you kidding me? I started reeling off all the kinds. He's like, okay, all right, I get it. But, you're always going to get people that say, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, or you should have this. And it's like, well, we do try to get all kinds of different music,
Now, I remember a few years ago you had a group it was a Beatlemania group.
Oh, that was huge, yeah.
And they have gone on now to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them in other parts of the country.
Yeah, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, they're all over the United States now. So.
And we almost had a riot because we had when we had a rain date, and they played, and we had them at the high school, and people were
there.
Wild. They, like, why can't you let us in? And like, sorry, the capacity is whatever, and they were.
Yeah.
Riot in Georgetown.
Do you still do the rain dates? If it's raining, it goes into the high school?
Actually, we've moved it. We found it was just a better location was at Pembroke. Okay. At the cafetorium or whatever they call it over there, because I don't know, I think even though the high school is just a terrific place to sit and watch a show quietly,
it's a nice
watch
auditorium.
A show, people would tend to be less tolerant of kids running by because they felt they were sitting in a seat and watching a show and shushing people. It's like, no, this isn't what it's about. So we moved it to the Pembroke, and we set up the little round tables and did some other seating scattered throughout, and it just seems to be more of a...
People bring their snacks.
Exactly.
Their
more
juice
casual,
boxes.
Yeah, more of a casual atmosphere.
Yeah.
So.
The current economic crisis, how has it affected?
Like
Other than you've got 5.
Right, 5 concerts, and not to say that we've really tried not to cut back on the quality of the music. So that's why we said, okay, we're not going to have 8 if we have to get lower quality bands. So we said we'll have 5, good quality bands. The donations we get are probably smaller in amount, and like I said, we have to hit up more people. And you feel bad because every business in town, every group is doing the same thing. Go to that little Georgetown phone book and go, okay, let's see, let's send out my form letter, dear blank, this for this cause. Here
Now, can people make a donation at the concert?
Oh, yes. Yes, we do also do a little bit of fundraising at the show. We do a 50-50 raffle, and people seem to really like that. If it's a good crowd, you can give away a sizable chunk of cash.
And
so
keep a sizable chunk as well.
Yeah, I like keeping the sizable chunk, and especially in better economic times, we actually had people giving back, saying, oh, I just want to take out $10 to buy the CD of the band, but here, keep the 50-50. I was, wow, that's great. And one year, actually, we had a woman who was a diehard fan of the concert series, an elderly woman who passed away, and in the obituary, it said, please send donations to the concert series. And I thought that was very moving. That was...
Yeah.
And we were getting checks, 5, 10, 15, just a stack of checks, So I thought, wow, it kind of makes you feel good, validates you. Hey, I'm doing it for a good reason or whatever. It makes a difference or something.
You do see the same people going down there.
Yes.
You have some standards.
Yes.
And then you have some that might come for that particular type of music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because you want to look out there and go, where are these people coming from? Are these locals? Are they, actually we are planning to do, I think, a couple of surveys this summer, so be ready to respond to the surveys. I'm trying to figure out how we'll entice people to actually fill them out and turn them in. Probably have to, waive some gift certificate or something, in front of people to say, please fill out the surveys and tell us what kinds of music you like. We did it a few years ago, and it was funny. The results were rock and country music were the two by far the two favorite types of music that people wanted to hear.
And the selection criteria, how do you decide between these different bands?
Like I said, first of all, we get a lot of people now sending CDs or sending us inquiries and please listen to our music. So we just start kind of by doing that. Or some bands from the year before that we didn't get to hire for whatever reasons. We were supposed to have a big band this year, but then there was a scheduling conflict. So it was, quick, let's get, another band. But like I said, now that I'm looking back, one band that we thought about hiring this year, and I said, geez, we had them last year, we had them 2 years before that. So you don't want to have the same band, even though they were great and we had a good crowd. I don't know if that's a good reason or not. Just that you don't want to have the same, lineup every year. So, like I said, you just try to mix it up.
So everything, not just that year, gets mixed up from previous years,
Yeah.
so that you don't want one year to represent and reflect the next.
Right.
So they're all
Right.
different. You also have food,
Yes.
because I went on the website last night, and you have different organizations that provide food. So they are getting the money for the food, or is the
Yes.
Cultural Council?
The group that does the food, they get the proceeds. All we ask, we have a little sheet of instructions, what they have to do, what they have to adhere to. Empty the trash, and don't serve bad food.
Housekeeping issues, yes.
Yes. So, but they get to keep it, and the only thing we ask of them is that they feed the band.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah, that's what we decided, because we thought it's a lot of work, because we've done the food. In fact, last year, for some reason, a couple of groups fell through. So I think that between the Cultural Council and the Concert Committee, we did 3 of them out of the 7. It was like, all right, I don't.
So Kiwanis will come down and do their sausages, or
Well, they didn't do sausage. They did hot dogs and,
hot
and
dogs
burgers
and-
this year. And
okay.
we did have people saying, hey, where's their sausages and peppers? Their famous sausage and peppers.
they'll
But-
save those for the Georgetown days.
Yeah, sure. But, it's a lot of work to do that. It's a lot of work to prep and get everybody together for a Sunday. And, it takes, a lot of your day. So we said, yeah, they're doing the work. They get to keep the money.
Yeah, well, it's a nice way for them to raise money for,
And
for their
awareness.
causes.
And we say, give us a write-up, give us something to say about your organization, what the money goes for, put up signs, sell, like when the Historical Society, sell your, whatever, your
Books or-
books, and sure,
Yeah.
trumpet your cause.
Well, and that's a nice part about doing it. And when you're down there, you see people with lawn chairs and blankets, and
Some people.
they're playing basketball, they're dancing.
Yeah.
I've been down there a few times dancing myself. And when we're talking about the regulars, I remember for years, if I wanted to find Bob Hunter on a Sunday afternoon, I know where to find
Yes.
him. Or Mr. and Mrs. Crawford, or some of the people that were just there every single week.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people that have been following. Now, how long has this been going on?
Well, like I said, when I started, I joined it was in '95, and I think there was maybe a couple of years prior to that where, like I said, they just stood out there on the back of a flatbed truck and had a couple of concerts. So, it's been going on for a long time.
Now, when was the pavilion built? That's got to be...
That's got to be probably 97, maybe
Okay.
96 or 97.
So it's been more than 10 years.
And that was
a huge...
That was a huge deal. The Kiwanis and the Cultural Council put in for a grant for that, and local volunteers built it, and everybody, I hear bands year after year just, please, we'd love to come back. We love playing here. The acoustics are terrific. They just,
I
they
remember
love
Dick
playing
Paganelli
there.
when that was being built. He was
he
really...
spearheaded that. He was really the driving
did a
force,
great job.
I think. Yeah.
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 What gives you the most personal satisfaction out of all of this? What is the best part about this for you?
Well, like I say, just knowing that people appreciate it, I guess. Just sometimes you're going, why am I doing this year to year? It's a lot of work, but it is fun. Like I said, I love music, so I love listening to bands. I go listen to bands anyway, and when I'm listening to them, I'm like, hey, how would they play in Georgetown? How would that, but I guess just that as long as it's fun, as long as I'm still having fun, and as long as the people seem to be appreciative of it, and obviously by the different businesses, ponying up the money for it, they think that there's a good reason to put these on. So I guess that's pretty much what does it for me.
Now, you said there's a website.
Yes, it's www.gtownculture.org.
Okay, gtownculture.org.
Yes, and so that has a little page about the Cultural Council, some of the projects that we've done, and then there's the concert page as well.
And just in the regular Georgetown website, if you go on boards and committees and hit Cultural Council, it shows this year's list of who's playing and who's doing the food and all that type of thing. What types of music do we expect
this year? There was a brass band lined up. Then we have, what was it, bluegrass, or they call themselves zooggrass. They're kind of a modern take on a bluegrass band. They're out of Lowell. I'm really looking forward to that. A soul singer, a young soul singer out of Boston. He just backed up Etta James. His name is Jessie D. I'm looking forward to that. A young blues woman. She graduated from Berklee School of Music, and Allie Blues. And a little disclaimer, that's my husband's brother's daughter, so that would be my niece. So, hey, that's one of the perks. You do all this volunteer stuff, right?
I think she was down. They did a folk festival in Salem this year, and I think she was there because I remember the name. I thought it was unusual because I went to that. That was a nice take as well.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's again, so it's blues, soul, bluegrass, brass band, and then the one on it's a young, very young, 10, 11, 12-year-old brother and sister act that play rock and roll, and they'll be playing in Georgetown, and I'm looking forward to that. That just sounds like a blast. They've played at Disney, Nickelodeon, Six Flags. They play all over the country.
Oh, wow.
And I just thought, we'll never get them. They're way out of our price range, but they live in Topsfield, and I boo-hooed to the mother, nonprofit, don't have a lot of money. So she said, that no problem, we'll.
What price range do these bands come in at, just in general?
Probably about 500 to about 1,000, 1,200.
Okay, so that's a lot of money for each one of these. It's a lot of money to have the group raise.
Yeah. In days gone by, more flush times, we actually, I think, went as high as like 3,000 or something for one band, but that was a little much. We couldn't do that on a regular basis.
Not in these days.
So.
Is there anything that we've missed?
Please pray for sunny days on Sundays.
Yes.
I just thought that was amazing that we had like a sunny day this Sunday.
Yeah.
I was just so happy to see that. Because, while we do have a good time in the cafeteria, it is still fun. You just don't get the exposure that you do. Like last year we had opera, and I was so looking forward to it. I'm like, this is going to be different. How's this going to play in Georgetown, And I just would have liked to have seen how that was, because she came down, the day before the concert, and she was on the edge of the stage projecting and just like, wow, this is going to be great. But it didn't happen. It happened in the cafeteria, which was a whole different feel. But 50 people turned up to go listen to opera in the Pembroke cafeteria, which I thought was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that could be a record in itself.
Anyway.
Well, we'll see you at the concert on Sunday.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for joining us.
Beverly.
This has been great.
Thank you.
I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown. Don't forget, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And I'll see you at the concert on Sunday. Bye for now.
I'm Christopher from Den 5, and here is what I want to say. Don't drink and drive, you'll get in trouble. I'm Matthew from Den 5, and I want to say is recycle all the time. Hi, I'm Luke from Den 5. Please be nice to Mother Earth and don't litter. Hi, I'm Joshua from Den 5, and I would like to stop smoking. It's a bad habit. Hi, my name is Dan, and I'm here to say, please do not be a litter bug. My name is Ty from Den 5. I'm here to say, do not litter. I'm Ryan from Den 5, and I would like to say, wash your hands before you eat. My name is Jim, from Den 5. Keep your, earth clean. I'm Matthew from Den 5. I would like to say no to drugs. Hello, my name is Connor Miles. I'm in Den 5 in Pack 50, and don't do bad things, do good things.